Machine-seated chest presses. This exercise allows us to push much higher levels of resistance than we would be able to be doing in a standing position. You can see I'm just using a bench. I've got the bench set to its highest, most vertical position I can, and that way I can just sit up nice and tall with it. And I've also got it set just far enough away from the machine so that when my elbows just start to pass the back of my body there, just past my torso, they're released, I have no weight. And now I've released the resistance. I don't want to have too much resistance with my elbows back behind my body there. That can cause a shoulder impingement. What I want to do is I'm going to have the resistance kick in, especially when I'm dealing with high levels of resistance. I want it to kick in right about at the side of my body there. And from that point, now I've got resistance and I can press through from there, performing this nice clean chest press. That means I'm going to keep my shoulders back and down, my head back, and my abs and feet are still going to ground in. My abs are drawn in to secure my core, and my feet are grounded into the ground, especially if I'm pushing higher levels of resistance there. You're going to have to keep that foundation set there. But a very common imbalance with chest presses is protruding our head forward with each press. If that's one of yours, you're going to have to work on keeping that chin tucked back in. Like you're trying to make a double chin there. Keep your chin tucked back so your neck is in line with the rest of your spine there throughout the press. Shoulders are staying back and down. I'm not protruding my shoulders all the way forward there with this exercise, keeping them back and down throughout and just extending my elbows straight out to where they can and having my wrists follow my elbows as well. My palm positioning, unless you've been instructed to do otherwise, I'm not doing it with palms down or palms all the way in. I like to do it with palms about 45 degrees there. It's got a little bit of a safer position to put the shoulder into. But obviously, if you were doing if you wanted to mimic a barbell, you'd have your palms straight down there. Do what you're instructed. If not, I like to do 45 degrees on each side of a diagonal with my palms there, shoulders back and down throughout that press. You can adjust what type of chest press this is by adjusting the cables. You can, hopefully you have a cable machine allows you to, if you can go up higher, then you'll notice then in the same seated position, I can press down into like a decline chest press. If I take the pulleys way low, then I can adjust a particular angle I want to grab on an incline chest press. Right there. So set them to where you want. What I've demonstrated here is more of a straight press, which means I have it about in line with my shoulders pressing straight out there. If your pulleys are more fixed or you can't get quite the right resistance, you can also adjust, if your bench allows, your bench to go to a different position here and then press out at that point. So now with the cables at the same spot, you can see I'm doing a little bit more of a decline chest press. I would need to adjust the bench out a little bit further so I can start the resistance a little bit earlier. But you adjust as necessary. So the same thing so that you have resistance beginning right about when your elbows are at your sides, and then you press out from there. I personally find it cumbersome to adjust this bench constantly, back and forth and all around, so I adjust the cables when necessary and just keep the bench up nice and high if I'm going to stick with this kind of exercise. This is your machine-seated chest press.